a technical team is not made up of the two only. There's always more. If you look at the technical team at Sundowns, for example, you talk about the bench itself, you talk about those analyzing the game from the grandstand point of view, those that sit and analyze the game from a video point of view, and those that get involved from a fitness level to all the different aspects of the game. Clearly, if you were the chairperson at Kaizer Chiefs and you're looking at beefing up your team, I believe that the technical team should be beefed up, because the fact that you look at Sundowns that won it has such a huge technical team and they're really looking at the way they're doing things. Are the changes of the two coaches, talking about the assistant coach and the main coach, those surely cannot be the only thing that needs to change at a team.
Yeah, you see, I think maybe what we should talk about is maybe not changing. We should talk about additions, because I mean, you look at Sundowns. They're sitting with 3 analysts in Gulam, Mario, Marsha, and I can't remember what the other guy's name is. But I mean, they also have they've got a lot of football. And it's quite congested. But I mean, Gulam is flying up in Africa to go watch the opposition that they're playing in a month's time. Mario Masha is already watching Golden Arrows that they're playing in 2-3 weeks' time. So they set a precedent for what our local football should have in every club, I think. I mean, they're sitting with 2 assistants, which I think is also good. You even see some certain clubs in Europe, well, most of them in Europe is having striking coaches, defending coaches. It just helps the players and not relying only on 2 people. And I think what might be a problem with a lot of the coaches in South Africa is they want to dominate in all departments. So that might have a bit of a problem. But if you're looking at going forward and modern day football, you're going to need 2 assistants. You're going to need a goalkeeper coach. Some even clubs in Europe have fitness goalkeeper coaches. So a specific fitness coach for the goalkeepers on their own. Yes, we know that, in South Africa, you're sitting with budgets, and Sundowns, Chiefs, Pirates, Wits, the old Wits, Supersport, they didn't have much of a problem when it came to financial, input. So they didn't have much of a problem. They could probably afford it if they want to. But I think they should all be looking at that way. And Balile, hit the nail on the head when he was saying that Kaizer Chiefs is lagging behind in that department. And we've had conversations like this over the few weeks that the administration filters down through to the players. And that is my bottom line. And maybe because the administration and Kaizer Chiefs has to look at themselves also. They're looking now at revamping, which could be a good thing going forward. But yes, I do believe that they were lagging behind from Chiefs when it comes to how the technical team is set up.
So?
Yeah, it's very, very important the way Eastern Downs actually has set up the pace. It's actually shown a lot of teams that how they need to set up their technical team. Because I think technical team plays a very, very, very big role. Because if you look at the squad of Sundowns, the way that it's handled in a manner that it's so professional. Once a player comes in, another one's out, and then they are able to actually liaise with one another. And again, as Shoaib is saying, if from the director's point of view, filtering down to the technical team, I think there should be a synergy there. It shouldn't just be a shorter line. As much as the borders are actually longer, it actually creates a conducive working environment so that whenever each and every person that is accountable for a certain department, we're not just going to say it's just because Uvelile didn't pitch up this time, so then the job is done.
Right, gentlemen.
Brizo, just to add on this point, I think Sundowns, the point that Shoaib is bringing, Sundowns has got over 14 technical team members who are solely responsible for the first team. You mentioned, I remember, sometimes I remember I was going to a final, I can't remember if it was a final or, I think I was going to a league game, and Sundowns, I think they had a final the following week. And on that flight, it was Gulam. And I was asking, Gulam, where are you going? I said, no, we are playing this team, and they're not playing them in the next week or two. They're playing in 3 weeks' time. You know.
Yep.
So this is what they do. They watch the last 5 matches on video, but I think the last 2 games, if not the last 3, they make sure they see them, like this, they are there in the stadium for it. And I've seen him with this also, even when they have to play Al Ali, for instance. So that thing of the advanced team that will go and watch or book hotels and all those things. So he will still go there, book hotels, look for the fields, but that will coincide with him as the analyst, also watching the league games and even getting the vibe in terms of how's the mood in Cairo, around Al Ali at the time. So, you see, this is also because Coach Pitso is in charge of that process. But also because if you look at Sundowns, even outside the first team now, but just the technical operation and people there, you've got the Sembatas. Kelvin knows Sembata very well, a former head of School of Excellence. You've got the Trot Mulotos, former Bafana coach. These are people outside the first team, but still in the technical structures of the club. So that kind of thinking, so I think for me, when you look at Gulam, you look at Mario, you look at Mosi, here last week, I think I shared with the guys and I asked Coach Pitso about it. What did Sundowns do during this bubble? In the bubble, because on match day, you are limited. You can only bring in a certain number of people to the venue. What did Sundowns do? They worked around making sure that they prioritized. And I'm not sure how many teams did this. And I can guarantee you, Chiefs didn't do it, because I understand that even the analyst was not on stadium on match day. But Sundowns, they left Peter Ndlovu, the team manager, at the hotel. And because they prioritized that they need an analyst, they took Musi to the stadium, and Musi would double up as an analyst and the team manager at the match venue. And he would share the duties with Coach Mangoba. So now this is a team that you can see that the thinking, the thinking is technical. And for me, there are things which are good about Chiefs. There are things which are good about them, especially on the commercial side. But technically, and then in other areas, and I'm not even sure in terms of prioritizing who to take to the bubble, they prioritize technical people, So these are some of the things then which will come up. So in your post-mortem of how did they drop so many points in this time of the bubble and not winning, you look at the technical support. Was there enough technical support? And sometimes technical support that you have here next to me and having it virtually, those are two different things.
I know that Kaizer Chiefs at Vina Maposa is among some of the people that went to the team to the bubble and also part of the final team. Gentlemen, we know that next season we're going to have a lot of local coaches in the Premiership, something that we all should be applauding and be very happy about. Amazulu finally giving Ayanda Dlamini a contract to be the man in charge of Amazulu. He did very well in the spell that he was given to be in charge of the team. And that also bodes very well for the fact that now, with Sundowns having shown the others that even though it's local, can still be good and better, that it can only buoy it and to be much better going forward for all the other teams.
Yeah, I think it's good. And you mustn't also forget, you have to congratulate Brandon Truto as well from Morocco Swallows. It's his first.
Yes.
It's also him also, so there's a lot of newcomers. I think it's going to be exciting. I just hope that Ayanda will also think very hard of who is going to take as his assistant, because that's going to play an important role. You're only as good as your assistant, I believe, as a head coach. So for me, it's exciting, and it's not also the good thing about it is it's younger coaches and it's less experienced coaches, which a lot of clubs even in Europe has shown that they're showing their faith in it. And I'm glad that AmaZulu is doing something like that, showing faith in the locals that understand their culture, and in not just bringing in a foreign coach from a Scandinavian country in Europe, understand culture. And it's good that it's good for AmaZulu to have a coach that understands the culture. AmaZulu's got a certain culture. They want to play attractive football. They even show now they've promoted 7 youngsters. They've brought back about 4 or 5 players that's been loaned out. They signed pre-contracts with 1 player from Jomo Cosmos. So they show that as now for me, it's just to find a good balance. And your technical team is important, and it's proven. Kaizer Chiefs has proven that how your technical team can affect the players that you have. And I think with Ayanda being there, I can see positives. We'll obviously just have to see the type of football that they play. So yeah, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see Morocco Swallows. I'm even excited to see Stellenbosch next season. I think they ended off well, and I'd like to see how they do. So yeah, it's exciting times, I think, for South African and for local coaches, definitely.
Yeah, nami nga-add phezu kwale point elisho ebaqeda ukulisho. I think okwamanje it's so good to see ukubona ama-player actually ex-professional players actually coming up and being coaches. And I think now it's the right time for them ukuthi babonise nalama-player la amanye, because it will be easier to relate to them as they were past players as well. And ekunyukeni kwabo kuze babe coach, I think kuzobanikeza nabanye coach abaseza, because we need to grow as much as we can of younger coaches to come up into the big league. And I think also that with a good management and a technical team, also nabo kumele bafunde in terms of ukuthi lama team lawa ngaphezu kwabo benzani yini, what is that is right. They need to take note, also expand also now if they can in the right way, ukuthi babe ne-technical team strong ezokwazi ukuthi ibe ifave bona for iside labo. I know ukuthi kuzoba easy bona ukuthi kukhulume bakwazi ukuthi bakhulume nabadlali, because abadlali abaningi bayazi ukuthi labantu they've been there, they've done it, rather than uzoletha umuntu maybe ucoachwa ngaphandle and then you try to actually to fit them in, and sometimes they don't actually relate.
In fact, before Velile comes in, we also have Dan Malisela and his team as TS Galaxy that will be coming in. I mean, Owen Dagama did very well alongside Alan Freeze at Highlands Park.